Hey, right there guys, this is 88 Shadow Angel with the final bit of the Angron model, and I'm sorry there hasn't been a few more videos with this, but I've just got, I've just been really got into painting this model and it kind of just ran away with me a bit, and I kind of just went with it. So as you can see, the model is now pretty much, it is completely done, except for the transfers of the 3 legions, which I'm awaiting on Forge World to release the transfer sheets. But in the meantime, Angron himself is done. I've kind of been jotting things down, so I can at least say that that I have, that I've done a few things, and if you like it, then you're more than welcome to use it as well. So yeah, so start off, I'll show you the model as finished. So I've taken inspiration for the paint scheme on this model from pretty much all over the place, because Angron has had quite a few bits and pieces done about him and things like that. But I've taken inspiration from books, novel, stories about the World Eaters, the Pre-Heresy artworks, the original sketches of Primarchs from John Blanche. Everywhere I've kind of got in. One of the most noticeable things is the red inlay on the inside of the shoulder pads, which is something I wanted to do anyway, because I remember seeing this in I'm sure it was one of John Blanche's one of his artwork pieces, where he did Angron stud. I can't remember what he was in front of, but he had this gold, had all the gold, but had a red inlay on the in the shoulder pad, and it was something I really liked. I did get carried away with the face paint as well, but I wanted to show a proper war, aggressive look to him and everything. The red tassel, I can't think what they're called, I'll just call them tassels for now. His custom made plasma pistol, which is in there. Emperor's Children guy, that's a new colour scheme for me. I've never painted purple armour before. I got the colour scheme from the current issue of White Dwarf about the new Chaos and stuff. It's got a really nice simple colour scheme in there for them, which is basically Gene Stealer purple wash, and then a very light stroked highlight of purple, the same Gene Stealer purple, just to bring it out again. With the gold guns and stuff, which I really liked, all the gold studs on the leg. Then you got the World Eater with the decapitated hand, and because this is rocking, I'm going to take this out for a minute. And he's going to play up for me now. Come on. No, he's going to play up now. There we go. So let's have a better look at this guy. Faces. There we go. So you got the really obviously the old Heresy armor. The way I do my wounds is it's basically a Festin red top with a bit of blood red. Then it's a couple washes of bloodletter red, and then finally with a very small touch of null oil, and then put a gloss varnish over the top just to give it that kind of fresh cut open look. Done a bit of mudding on the bottom of the on there, and then you've got the base and stones and everything else. So that's that. Right, now for the main man. Stood on the Death Guard, which is also taken from the White Dwarf. In fact, all three are taken from the White Dwarf paint guide. This is, I did write this one down. For this guy, I started with Scrag Brown, followed by Ushabti Bone, and a wash of Serpent Sapia, and then touched in a couple of the bits just to darken it down a bit with Earthshade. As for gold, because I did say I would tell, I've had a couple of people always ask me how I do my gold, because they're all metallics. I don't like non-metallic golds, if I'm completely honest. So I start with Warplock Bronze, which is your effective tin bits. Then go up from there with Hashnut Copper. Then over that it's I can't pronounce Gehenna's Gold, something like that. What used to be Shining Gold. Top with Auric Armour Gold, which is blazing gold, and then give it a good wash, or a reasonable wash of null oil, and it darkens the gold down and gives you this, I quite like this, quite nice worn effect. That's what I should have wrote down. Painting the flesh, I wanted to do something different rather than just human skin, because the way I've always heard Angron described is he's quite a pale Primarch. He's not what you'd call flesh coloured in the slightest, and I did need a bit of help working on that, and I have to give props out to the Voodoo Orc. I thank you very much if you watch this video. Who gave me a hand and suggested a couple cool colours to do for that, and that is it's a base of where is it gone? It's a base of Rakath's Flesh, then a wash of Serpent Sapia, then highlighted with Pallid Witch Flesh, and then do quite a light wash back of Serpent Sapia, and it gives you this quite nice, quite drawn out flesh colour, which I actually quite like, and I'm tempted to do all my chaos like it, because it works quite well. But yeah, he's got it on his underarms and forearms and fingers and everything. So yeah, so I mean, it's gone together really nicely. Good tip I was told about the red as well, which goes out to put a man called Paul Cox, if he's watching. Thank you very much. Who told me that if I put a green wash in the corners of the red, it kind of gives this nice subtle darkness to the red, which works quite nicely. So what else is? Oh yeah, the cape. This thing has so much detail. I spent more time on this than I think most of the model. Just because it's not until you start painting that you realise just how many bits of chain and fur and everything's on this model. Because obviously it goes all in here. There's a sneaky couple skulls hiding up here, and everything around here, which is basically just it was basically just a couple browns and just mixed up and got brighter and everything, and a very fine bit of Ushabti bone over the top, and then washed down with a black wash everything. Cape inside, the swords. Right, onto these. That is obviously the Gorefather, which is basically just lead belcher with a black wash over it. But I wanted to add some gore to it, because obviously it's Angron, and with all the bodies flying around, it would be stupid to have him with two clean chain axes. This is something I tried, and I tried to use the same method as I do on my corpses, but obviously I wanted it to be a bit brighter, because it's not there's no shadow depth into it. So this is basically just Mephiston red again, with a dry brush up of blood red. Then, because I have some of it still left, the old red ink that Games Workshop used to do, and then a final wash of bloodletter red, and then wash hard coat varnish, just to add this bits of gore. But I didn't want it all shining, so I've left some of it where some bits of the blood is already dried and he's still cutting and slashing away. I've got it a bit on the fist as well, which is going to be a bugger and not show. I also did the same with Gorechild as well, up on his fingers there as well. I did a couple sprays and stuff. But yeah, that is my take on Angron, the Red Angel. I'm really liking it, if I'm honest. I don't mean to sound like I'm saying, oh, it's my model and I painted it, and I do genuinely think this is probably one of the best models I've painted. Just because like I said, I've tried a few new things, and I wanted to do things a bit differently from how I normally would take, because it's a Primark, and I'm probably only ever going to buy one, possibly. Who knows? But I will have a complete collection of all 18 when they're done. The demon ones will have to look the part for me to consider them. But anyway, before I start rambling, so yeah, there you go, guys. That is quite obviously Angron for you, with all the really nice trimmings and everything else. So yeah, guys, I hope you like it. It's taken me just over a week to do, but yeah. So once again, guys, thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.